Steph, we just found out that Chris Paul fractured his left hand. How much of a blow is that to you guys after what you've been going through?
I just feel bad for him. I know he's been through some hand stuff in his career, and you know, we're trying to find a groove as a team. You know, our chemistry, and continue to build that and work through some of the kinks in the lineups, and he's such a huge part of that and has been all season. So I don't know how long he'll be out, but I just feel for him personally because he does such an amazing job of taking care of his body, preparing himself, you know, day in, day out. Nobody sees the amount of hours he puts in, especially at this stage in his career, to be available. And a freak play like that to sideline him is tough. So we'll worry about the stuff with the team as it comes. But for him personally, I just, you know, hope he keeps his spirits up and can get through this as quick as possible.
Steph, besides the injuries, I mean, is it going to, how much of it is going to help you guys with the younger guys who, you know, wanted more playing time, that they're now in a situation where they're going to be put to the test?
Everybody gets wrapped up in especially with us, and you know, there's a lot of narratives around our team and, you know, who's supposed to play and our depth and, you know, the amount of guys that you can argue should be in the rotation. It's just hard. You know, coach has a difficult job on that front. So, but if you look at any team in the NBA, injuries, when they pop up, you have to have that next man up mentality. So, you know, that's the challenge for us now. More combinations that we probably haven't seen, and we have to be able to take it in stride and execute and do what we need to do to try to stay competitive and win games. But everybody's going to have an opportunity, so we got to stay ready.
Steve said that one of the reasons he put Chris in the starting lineup these past couple of games was to help try and get you off the ball a little bit more. Did you feel that helped? And I guess just how did it feel playing alongside Chris, and what are you going to miss about having him on the court there?
Yeah, I mean, he's such a cerebral player. He knows how to manage the game, getting us organized. And, you know, we had a stretch where we had tough starts. And this is all because Draymond's been out and, you know, how different we look as a team trying to run our system. So CP's a great, you know, addition to that flow. I think, especially over the last 2 years or so, like I'm able to adjust to whatever's out there, and I know that's another challenge now, going back to a different starting lineup with CP out. So I got to be able to make the adjustments. Clay got to do the same for us to continue to be aggressive, get shots, unlock ourselves and the rest of the five-man unit that's out there. So it's nothing new, and, you know, a different in the next challenge, you know, ahead.
Steph, you guys have been through so many different things over the years. Does this season feel like it's more unique in that sense with the amount of injuries and drama and just a bunch of stuff?
Yeah. If you look at every year since, 2019, and, you know, the lost year we had with all the injuries we had, and the 2021 season where you're trying to reestablish your identity, and it was a very unique challenge with different faces, and, you know, losing the play-in, and then you win the championship, starting 18-2 and all that stuff, and then last year trying to, you know, back it up and all the things we had to deal with. This year's more of the same, different challenges, but, you know, a lot's gone into 35 games, so you got to stay fresh mentally, physically. Not get exhausted or fatigued with all the things that you're trying to battle through while also trying to perform on the court. So we say it all the time. Every season you have different and unique challenges that if a team is trying to, you know, reach their full potential, you have to persevere through. This season's been a extreme case of that.
conventional wisdom would think if you play like you did against Denver, Detroit would be an easy win, so to speak. Is it disappointing that you guys didn't put a similar performance out there, or is that just one of those games you knew off the bat would have to be a grind it out, fight through it?
It's a polar opposite game. It was a grind for 44 minutes, and then we had a great 4-minute stretch. Last night it was a great 44 minutes, and then a trash 4-minute stretch, 6-minute stretch, whatever it was. So there are no easy wins in this league. I don't care if they only have 3 wins. Like, they play hard, they're physical. You know, Cade made some big shots and kept applying pressure down the stretch, but you just want to win, and we're in that kind of situation as a team. Every win is important, no matter how you get it. So I'm glad we could turn the page quick from last night.
Steph, you talk about Chris as a cerebral player and sort of getting you organized. In what other ways will you miss him in the sense of sort of the presence he has and the leadership and he's one of the few players who's been in the league longer than you have, and he carries a certain cachet when he's out there. How do you sort of articulate the challenge of replacing that?
It's going to be tough because between me, CP, Draymond, Loon, the guys that talk the most and try to provide as much wisdom, up and down the bench as possible. He's definitely, we're talking at halftime, talking at timeouts, talking on the court. That's how you try to build chemistry, but also, to your point, him giving us and giving everybody on the team something motivational, inspirational, or some look that you see during the game that kind of get you going. So I guess in the short term, hopefully, he can be on the bench and be vocal, but other guys got to step up, and whether it makes you uncomfortable or not, talk and give you that presence that can hopefully fill his void.
Well, I guess piggybacking off his question, with 2 guards down now, how much involvement will you have as a leader for like Brandon and the other guys in speaking with them and encouraging them?
I do it all the time. Whether anybody sees it or not, doesn't matter. That's a consistent effort no matter what we're going through, no matter who's available, and whether it's out there on the court, in the locker room, on the phone, whatever it is. So more of the same, and just acknowledging what needs to happen with the different rotations and the different combinations that we'll have out there to try to execute and work through some of those challenges.
A story came out on The Athletic about Kuminga's frustration.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it was on theathletic.com.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What was it about?
Jonathan Kuminga's frustration, written by The Athletic. You've been a third-year player. You've been a player who sat some fourth quarters behind veterans. How much of you understand what he's talking about, and how much of you probably think maybe there's a different way to handle it, so to speak?
Everything you just said, like, I've been there before. He's not wrong in being upset and pissed off, wanting to play. Probably should have played. Not probably. But to your point, like, the ultimate challenge for anybody in this league is to not let the narrative be told for you, and you not be able to address that with your own voice or directly with coach or whatever the case is. So we all go through our challenges. We all go through our learning lessons. And like I said, he's not wrong for being upset and frustrated. I heard coach talk about, he's kind of half joking but serious about 15 years. He was always upset about playing time, and that's a talking point in every locker room in some way, shape, or form. But the ways to express it, ways to voice your opinion but protect the team. And I'm just proud of the way he we talked about it before the game, but you go out and play, go hoop, be a professional, and that's what he did tonight.